You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
What's going on, U.S. Cellular customers? I've got good news, so don't hit skip, at least not yet. I'm talking about their special customer event, Us Days. What is Us Days? It means exclusive offers just for their customers, just to say thanks, like $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. No, I didn't just misread that. They must really like you. Us Days at U.S. Cellular, exclusive offers just for you, just to say thank you. Right now, U.S. Cellular customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. Terms apply.
Before history is written, it's played. Before it's frozen in time, it's fought one shift at a time. Before it's etched in silver, it's carved in ice. What happens next will last forever. The Stanley Cup Final on ABC and ESPN Plus begins Saturday.
You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers today, but Ryan Santos is here, so let's see what he's talking about today.
Hey, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Ryan Santos here.
What's up?
Your podcast, or not your podcast, but Packernet After Dark, between the draft, maybe a couple weeks after the draft, and training camp, you need to just make it the AI podcast. Because I listen to it, while I'm getting ready for bed, getting the kids ready for bed, whatnot. And I swear I forget that I'm listening to a Packers podcast. I'm just completely AI. And it's cool. I actually didn't like it at first, but I think I sent you a message. I did I updated my company's website and I used AI. I was like, oh, why not? AI, man, it was so cool. It was like, you want to make a logo, type in what what you're looking for, what you would like it to look like. Just typing in stuff like, hey, I want blue lines on a building that's outside and the sun is shining on it. Generates a picture. It looks like real people. Looks like I went outside and took it myself. It's crazy.
Yep.
Template, even the verbiage, man, I swear something that would have normally taken at least a day's work, couple of days work was done in an hour and a half. It's crazy. So I'm bought in. I was kind of indifferent, didn't really care. But I gotta say, man, I'm kind of on board with it. I like it, man. I'm a, older millennial. Just missed the Gen Xer generation, so I'm kind of still part of those old school people that are kind of resistant to change. But things are going to change whether we like it or not. So you may as well get on board for the most part. But yeah. Oh, also, since we're talking about AI, I saw that Jennifer Lopez movie, the one on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it was pretty bad. That had nothing to do with this really, other than the AI connection. But figured I'd share it with someone. Just watching it with my daughters and. 35 minutes in, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope one of them says that they don't like this so we can change it. I'd rather watch Frozen or something, but it was pretty bad. Anyhow, hopefully we'll start talking about Packers sometime soon. Something to happen. But, all right, Ryan, you take care, brother. Bye.
I still haven't finished that movie. I didn't mind it, but I guess one of the tells that I didn't like it a ton is every time I go on Netflix to turn something on, it's like, you want to finish that movie? It's like, nah, let's see what else they got on. I don't know. I'll get back to finishing it sometime. I didn't think it was terrible. So far, anyways. I didn't get super far into it. Nothing really interesting has happened yet. I think the big thing that I was looking for is I was under the impression that Jennifer Lopez did a bad job, and I don't know that I would say that she has. But has the movie really been interesting? Not really. She's an expert and hates AI, and because AI turned on people or whatever, and the main culprit fled to a planet. They found him. Somewhat of a spoiler alert here, but everybody basically gets blasted and killed except her, and that's where I left off. And for all I know, there's a couple that are still alive. I don't know, but it seems like everybody else is dead, and it's just her and this robot suit that she's in, and she hates the robot and is like mad at it because it keeps doing AI stuff, and I don't know. Hopefully something cool happens pretty soon. That's about it so far. We got Nate coming up here, and he's going to make me work. Lots of bleepy comments. I'm just going to try to see if I can get the volume down at the right time. But Nate, tell me what's bothering you, man. Let's do a little therapy hour.
Hey, I just wanted to call in. I know it's been a while there, Pack Daddy, but I was listening to the episode where Christine, or what's her name, you were reading her comments about the green package ticket holders.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I don't give a fuck about the green package ticket holders. I don't give a fuck because do you know what happens every time those package ticket home games happen? Look up in the stands. Tell me what color jerseys you see. You're not mad that you can't, and you're mad that you can't make your like $400 selling your tickets because it's a divisional game and it's worth more money. You don't give a shit. You sell it to the team, even though there's websites out there specifically dedicated to making sure that it gets to Green Bay Packer fans, which you claim to be. So shut the. Nobody cares about you. You live down here by me in Milwaukee. You're clearly not driving up to the games. Or go. If you want better games and better, then go. Go to the game.
Dang it.
Jeez. You. Go Paco.
I borderline felt bad because I was thinking, what if she happens to be a listener? Like, don't go too hard. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to say it because you know what? She was really rude to Mark Murphy. So I'm just going to be completely honest. But I don't feel bad at all anymore because Nate kind of took it up to 11 there. Yeah, I can't necessarily disagree with any of that, and that probably is a very good point. I think there are a lot of people, I can't speak for her specifically, but there are probably a lot of people that are very annoyed because that is more of a moneymaker, and you took all the moneymakers away. Because in reality, I mean, do you really care that much? I mean, I don't know. I don't have season tickets, but I'm thinking about it, and it's like you've seen how many billions... Exaggeration, obviously, but how many billions of times have you seen Packers, Lions, Packers, Bears, and Packers, Vikings? You don't want to see something else? You got some really good games on the docket. You don't want to see them? Why would you not want to see them? Or maybe, as Nate pointed out, it is because those are the ones that sell out, especially since there's a ton of people very locally who want to buy those tickets. So you can sell them for a lot of money and you can sell them very quickly. I know for a fact he's not wrong about some of the people. I don't know what percentage, but again, if you want evidence, look at the stands. I don't know how many, especially the Lions games. Good Lord, take those Lions games away from everybody, from every single season. I don't want any because that entire Lambeau Field, it was so embarrassing looking at Lambeau Field and seeing a sea of blue. Now, they did that everywhere, but of all places, that never should happen in Lambeau Field, and it did. They basically outnumbered Packers fans, and it made me sick. I think the other annoyance for me, for probably people like Nate and a lot of other fans, is you come off so entitled. Do you know how many people would love to have the tickets and don't? My guess is you live within walking distance of Lambeau Field. You've been to dozens, if not hundreds of games. You are wined and dined and spoiled by this team. And for 1 year, it just so happened that the algorithm or whatever that they came up with, which sounded entirely reasonable to me, is that you got great games, but none of them happened to be home games, which really doesn't warrant anything more or less than, that's funny. Or at worst, oh man, that sucks. Really wanted to see, Caleb or something, this year, or who knows, maybe McCarthy's there, or get the Lions, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't warrant anything more than that. But again, as Nate said, there are repositories, there are avenues to sell your tickets to Packer fans if you want to. So why are there so many Lions, Vikings, Bears fans in the stands? Probably because you can't jack up the prices quite as much. It's way easier to just slap your tickets on some kind of a ticket-selling website and flip that for a decent chunk of change. And for the rest of us, and you got to understand, I'm in-state. I've only been to a handful of games. I don't really care to go, whatever. But there are a lot of people who would love to be in the situation you're in. who do not live close and have either never been to a game or maybe have only been to one or two. It's very rare. It's like traveling to the Holy Land. You know, it was this magical, special experience. And we got to hear some crotchety, angry local person pissing and moaning because, I only got these tickets this year. I only get to go to these games, which, as Nate pointed out, is not even true. If you want to go to a Bears game, just buy the freaking ticket and go. Like everybody else has to do. Just buy a ticket. But, of course, you don't want to because you're, spoiled. I understand you pay for the tickets you have. Great. You should pay for your tickets. And you know what? If you want another game attached to the games that you already have, very good games, by the way, you should have to pay for it and pay full price for it. And guess what? Everybody else that has to pay full price to go watch those exact same games that you want to watch doesn't really want to hear you whining about the fact that you'll have to pay full price. You're not going to win a lot of popularity contests. You know what I mean? Not a lot of Packer fans going, "Aw, that's so unfair." I'm just saying.
Hey, y'all. This is Dakota, that nerd in Tennessee.
What's up?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I have to.
Good to be back, by the way. First show back. I've been staggering shows, which might have given you the illusion that I've been around, but I haven't. I just recorded a bunch on the weekend and staggered them. And there was a weird one where there was like a gap that was completely by accident. My wife's like, "Oh, you did one today?" I'm like, "Really? I didn't think they went out this far." She's like, "Well, you didn't do one yesterday." Like, I jacked that up. But yeah, this today is the first day back. What's up, Dakota?
To call in about this AI thing. It's gone on so long. We'll just make this the summer of AI 2024.
I just want to point out, because I know I get a little ranty when it comes to AI, and it seems like I am steering the ship. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, all right? Just want to be clear. It was Dakota and Ryan that brought it up, so don't get mad at me.
But I'm so far behind, but I'm just listening to, was it one Mr. Uncle Rico, I believe, that was talking about, or that's currently talking. And he's gone over a few things, like he's scared when AI takes over, just everybody sitting around getting fat and useless.
Sure.
Well, and then, you pointed out you got folks like Stephen Lass that's going to go chop down a tree because it is more fun than sitting around and being, useless.
Yeah.
But anyway, now AI scares me for a different reason, not because it's going to come up and do anything to us. It's not going to do that. I mean, come on. It's circuitry. It's not biology. It doesn't have its own will, but unless that will is programmed into it. But anyway,
sure.
No, it's what these crazy people out here are going to use it for.
Right.
That's what's terrifying.
Right.
But to be honest, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we're all going to end up in World War III/4 or whatever, and explosions everywhere and robots, marching up and down doing perimeter patrols. I don't think that's happening.
Well, and the other thing, I mean, if you think about it, there is mutually assured destruction when it comes to, like, for example, nukes and whatnot that we have. It's the exact same thing if everybody just has AI, right? Because you think just logically think it out as far as how good at warfare AI would be. As soon as somebody pushes the button, somebody else pushes the button, it's absolute perfect warfare, and everybody's wiped out pretty quickly. And nobody wants that. Now, that doesn't mean that people within a country couldn't use AI to oppress the people within a country, but as far as, I think we'd all just leave each other alone from country to country. Would be my assumption. I don't know. Again, it is what it is, man.
What I do think is going to happen, though, is we're going to have a whole nother renaissance. So this AI at the moment is best used, most efficiently used, most easily used, I don't know however you want to say it, for creating new stuff. Ryan, you're over here making songs. I don't know if you're a musical person.
No.
And if you've made songs in the past, but that's what you're doing. Whole things.
And that was kind of a point that I made up before, where it's, kind of a negative side of if you're an artist is it just lowers the bar to entry. But yeah, you're right. It will create people that maybe enjoy art, but don't have the ability to create art now that can. Same with I meant to say music, but you could say same with art, right? I am not artistically inclined, but there are still things that you can create that are cool, that you can appreciate, that you like. Same with, at some point, TV and movies. Now that's probably way down the line, even though there is already essentially a Netflix for AI. But, and then what does that just do for things like YouTube when you can, create short video prompts and you can create music and you can have, AI even read things, which tons of people already do that. If you're on YouTube, you're spammed with that 24/7. You might not even recognize it necessarily because AI is getting better at reading stuff. But that's what a lot of these videos are now.
Lyrics and stanzas and freaking whatever that stuff, the music. There we go.
Yeah, the music stuff.
But even I, who, I'm not creative like that. I could create a song with AI. I think it's going to create a whole new renaissance. And we're going to have art and poetry and music and just a whole bunch of artsy stuff. That's what's going to happen. I talked way longer on that than I thought I would.
Well, and not just on the art side, too. I mean, you think about coding. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily know how to do it that are going to bring ideas. And that's the other thing. It's bringing ideas to life, whether that's music, whether that's a website, whether that is whatever, whether that's a product. I mean, just think about it from a business standpoint. I don't know how to run a business. I'm not saying AI can necessarily run an entire business for you, but there's a lot of steps to running a business that you may not understand or may not know. And it can just, if you want to go through the process, it'll tell you step by step. Here's what you need. Here's things to look for. Even if you want to just be more handy around the house, if you want to build something. I was thinking about this the other day. If you wanted to, one of the things that AI is moving toward is sort of like spatial AI, which is kind of like what OpenAI, see, I'm getting into it now. OpenAI unveiled this, although it's not available yet. And that is where the AI can see exactly what you see and then respond. So rather than typing in a prompt, you can have your phone or ideally at some point like a set of glasses. And if you wanted to change your own tire, be like, I don't know how to do this, AI, what do I do? It's like, all right, well, grab this thing. See those nuts on there? Yeah, you gotta lefty-loosey those bad boys. Got to get a jack, go grab that. And where do I put it? Oh, no, you want to put it here? If you want to start, woodworking, you can walk into a store and go through the aisles and be like, yeah, no, you want that, not this, whatever. It'll help you get the materials you need and will guide you through step by step, almost as if you had a private instructor right there. Heck, if you wanted to learn to play piano, it can watch you and give you instructions on how to play piano. I was even thinking about, like if you wanted to, some people, now people do it just for vanity reasons, but I know there have been a lot of people in the past, like when I've been a part of exercising groups, they'll post pictures of themselves doing squats or something, and they'll say, how's my form? And people will kind of comment on it. You could set up your phone on the other side of the room and exercise and have it give you feedback. Like, try to get your elbows to, when you're benching, don't put them, straight out, kind of angle them down a little, yeah, right there, da-da-da-da, it's going to give you the ability to really pursue whatever it is you want to pursue and be very good at it if you're willing to put in the work and the time and effort and everything else. Or, again, you can sit around and watch movies on a fake big screen in a chair and get fat and die at 37 if you want. That's also an option.
But, yeah, I have so many things. I just want to sit down with somebody and talk about all the potentials of AI. It's so cool. I'm worried about it, though, because I'm probably not going to be, very good at it. I'm more of an out in the woods nature kind of guy, so it takes me a little longer to learn it. But I am, in fact, a nerd, so I will happily do it. Anyway, it's coming up 3 minutes. I'm going to let y'all go. Peace out.
Yeah, and it's last time I said something like this was to support my alcoholistic tendencies. Everything was better drunk was my philosophy at the time, and I was very wrong about that, by the way, kids. Don't ever listen to that theory. No, but it's like everything would be better with, hypothetically, let's say the AI glasses, and you can, got headset or in or whatever. Even if you're an outdoorsy person, you don't have to ever really use it, but it's there. What kind of tree is that? What kind of berries are these? Can I eat these? You know what I mean? And that's just it. What kind of clouds are those? Is that the Cumulus, Romulus and Remus? What the heck is that? I haven't heard about that since like third grade. Alto Cumulus? What kind of footprint is this? Oh, a bear. Okay, let's get out of here. You know, I want to hold up a topographical map of a lake and be like, hey, it's not that it wouldn't know this, but it's like, it's June, this is the temperature, this is the conditions, this, that, or the other. Where do you think I should go? And on the glass is just like putting little dots on the map. Like, here you go. Like, okay, what if I want to go shore fishing? Try here, here, here. You got it, boss. Let's go. What should we use for bait? Yeah, all right, cool. Go to the bait shop. Can help you pick out the right size minnows, worms, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just like, it's whatever. Think that takes the sport out of it? Then don't do it. You could be outside grilling, smoking. Can help you trim up that brisket. The other one that I think would be really cool is if you track your dietary habits, which isn't the hardest thing in the world to do, but it can be a little bit annoying. It's just watching you do it and just like, hey, man, calculate how much food this is. Break down the macros and the total calories for me. It's going to be an estimate, but it'll be all right. Even if you want to just slap it on the scale, it'll remember, it'll calculate it all. Tell it to remember that for the day. As you go along, everything you eat, it'll calculate everything. Good to go. Just a little personal assistant 24 hours a day for anything and everything you need. Again, some people that terrifies them, other people like me, it's like, that's freaking awesome. I hope that it starts tomorrow. Anyways, let's take a break. We got some more Dakota coming up. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. You know, in the hobby, it's not easy of being a fan of ripping packs or repacks. We always hype ourselves up thinking we're going to get some kind of a mint signed Jordan Love card or something. But with zero transparency on available cards and hit rates, it's all just a shot in the dark. That is until now. Introducing slab packs from arenaclub.com, the only repack that provides real value, a complete view of all possible cards, and clear hit rates for each one. Now when I buy slab packs on Arena Club, I finally feel like I know what I'm getting. I don't know if you saw the video me and my son did. That was us on arenaclub.com looking for new cards for my kid. Still on our YouTube channel. You should check it out. They have an incredible website. Slab packs are way better than mystery packs. Immediately after your pulls, they put your cards safe in a vault. So whether you're buying, selling, trading, or displaying, Arena Club's got the card collection platform that you have to check out. Right now, you can get 10% off your first purchase by going to arenaclub.com/packdaddy. That is a crazy offer. 10% off a $400 slab pack. That's $40 right there. Anyways, that's arenaclub.com/packdaddy for 10% off your first purchase. What's going on, U.S. Cellular customers? I've got good news, so don't hit skip, at least not yet. I'm talking about their special customer event, Us Days. What is Us Days? It means exclusive offers just for their customers, just to say thanks, like $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. No, I didn't just misread that. They must really like you. Us Days at U.S. Cellular, exclusive offers just for you, just to say thank you. Right now, U.S. Cellular customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Yeah, I called back. Everybody else was doing it. A little bit more on AI stuff. Just short story time. In college, you know, not obviously, y'all might not know this. I majored in wildlife ecology, biology, and but I minored in math because I love math. Math is fun. Weird like that, I understand. But while I was doing this, I got a little big for my britches, and I joined I can't remember what it was called, but it was a high level advanced combined class. It combined differential equations and linear algebra.
Okay.
To be fair, differential equations was easy. Later on, I ended up taking just a differential equations class. It was easier than Calculus 3, which you have to take before differential equations. Don't let anybody lie to you. That was simple. Linear algebra was the difficult thing. That's what I call ghost math. That's the thing that would be like, hey, your entire life you learn 2 + 2 = 4. So what you're going to do is prove to me how 2 + 2 actually equals 5. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. But this particular class I'm talking about turned into a programming class. I went for a math class. He asked me, or he put up this huge, crazy question. It took me, I write pretty small too, it took me the front and back of one page and the front of another page to solve this equation. I got it correct. I turned it in, and he's like, you got this correct, but you're going to fail. And the reason why I failed was because he wanted us to write a computer program in Java. No, something with a C. Something with a C. I don't remember what it's called, though. Something with a C. Write a computer program to solve it for me. And I don't want to do that because I don't know how to do that. I haven't learned I learned the math. I haven't learned computer speak. Either way, I had to get out that math class because he lied to us. He said it was a math class, but it turned into a computer programming class. And that's what scares me about AI, right? So for those of us that don't, aren't that good at coding, or, writing programs, stuff like that, we'll be left to the wayside. Or, that's what I thought. AI actually makes it easy and accessible to people that don't know what they're doing, like me. Yes, I'm good with the computer. It's just as soon as you get to the point where you're creating new programs and new things with the computer instead of using existing programs, that's where I dull out. But AI actually makes it easier for everybody to do that without having to know all that information. So AI is going to be great. It's going to be real fun.
Part 3, technically.
Got me. The 3-minute monster. I was literally like 10 seconds away. Anyway, hopefully we'll have another surge of, what is it? People being interested in going out. That's the other thing.
I know. For the young guns, AI that helps you pick up the ladies. You know what I mean? What do I say? Hopefully it's not like Grok, like some cheesy AI just dropping lazy lines. It wouldn't work because whatever. We don't need to get into that. But it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Hey, robot buddy, which one of these ladies over here you think I got a shot with? You see what I look like. And then what do I say? What do I do? I don't know. I mean, if you suck at it anyways, just try it. All right.
For example, my son might go into. We built this little solar power robotic thing that we bought off Amazon, and it's got wheels, and you put it out in the sun, and it goes in the direction that you tell it to go. And we put it together ourselves, circuitry, all of that stuff. It was kind of cool. But, if my son goes into something like that, that's where we're going. He's going to be successful in anything that has to do with technology because technology is what is increasing and that's where humanity is going right now. But you need folks like me that stay out here in the woods, that learn the history of the area, that learn nature of the area, and we're out there kind of pulling the reins back that says, technology is important. Yes, we need to progress, but don't take out literally the planet doing so. So, anyway, that was it. That's my whole spiel. Y'all, peace out. Have a nice one. Talk to you later, Ryan.
Yeah, that's kind of the confusing part too. Is do you want to get into the technological side because that's what you're going to need in order to thrive in this AI world? In other words, creating and being a part of these companies, or would that be a waste of your time because AI is doing all that for you? I don't know.
Hey, Ryan, this is Aaron. You just, in your podcast about, I forget what it's about, but anyways, you talked about the Murphy Takes 5 thing that came out, and one of the responses specifically about how, I forget her name, was like complaining in like a really, really stupidly harsh way about gold and green packages or whatever, and how the gold pack or the green package doesn't get any games or get any divisional games, which, you know, I get it. But at the same time, like, it reminded me of this time when I was in basic training, how, like, this is going to sound weird to a lot of people who have been in the military in the past, but we had, like, criticism boxes and comment boxes about, like, where we could put, like, critiques and comments about how things were. So, like, in regards to, in regards to just, like, how we were treated and whatever. And in that way, one of our, we had MTIs in the Air Force, military training instructors. We didn't have drill sergeants. But anyways, so one time, one person wrote a comment in our flight, and he didn't realize that every single comment that we write in those boxes goes straight up to the top of the command chain on the entire base, right? So in this base, since it was a training base, it was it was like the colonel in charge of all training across the Air Force, right? So this person reads them, right? And so what she had to say when she got a message in regards to how someone had wrote it using the word all that jazz at the end of some of the phrasings and stuff, she was kind of livid. She was like, you guys need to get your trainees trained up better, because, like, this is very unprofessional to send to the top of the command. It just got me thinking about that, because it's like, we got in a lot of trouble for that, and it wasn't such a fun time for a couple days, but we survived. Anyways, how on earth does a grown adult write a message to the president of the greatest football organization in the history of football, complaining about something like that, using the words that she wrote? I don't get it. Like, that is such a poor reflection of Packers fans. Like, yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll get over it. Go Pack, go. Bye.
Well, I'm sure you've heard the phrase "entitled town" before, and I think that would fit very nicely within that, you know, that moniker of entitled town. And it is unfortunate, because it's sort of the opposite of what you like about what everybody likes about Packer fans. You know, they're super nice people. They're very welcoming. Even amongst rivals, you never really hear anything bad. I mean, nobody ever gets attacked. I shouldn't say nobody ever, but I mean, for the most part, it's very welcoming. It's maybe a little bit of joking around, a little bit of banter back and forth, but it's all in good fun. Very nice, very welcoming people, salt of the earth, hardworking, and then we get this picture of just whiny entitlement that just comes out in the most vile way possible.
Hi, this is Aaron again. I just called a little bit ago about this Murphy Takes 5, how this Christine lady wrote in this really pleasant, nice, well-worded letter to Mark Murphy.
Articulate, yeah.
About the green and gold packages and whatever. But I ran out of time to actually give respect and props to Mark Murphy for how he responded to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Question or whatever it was. But, like, that just perfectly exemplifies why Mark Murphy is such a great guy. He could have just thrown the question out, but no, he took the question and answered it respectfully in a manner that said, hey, it's informed. Like,
yeah, and I honestly don't think it was, you know, because you could possibly do that in a way that is, you know, first of all, oh, poor me, and also look how respectful I am, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? I think it was genuinely, he wanted to put it on there, even though obviously nobody likes to get ripped like that, because as he said, it's a question that he's actually gotten quite a bit about. And these are people that he needs to value, right? Obviously, the season ticket holders are valuable people to your company. And so addressing them is an important thing to do. And if you've had a bunch of people reach out with similar sentiments, it makes sense to actually put that out there. Now, maybe there were other people that emailed that he could have used, but the point is, it wasn't simply to say, hey, look at this person, watch me shred them with kindness. It was a legitimate question that had a legitimate answer, and it really was informative. I didn't know any of that stuff. I'm guessing the season ticket holders probably didn't know that stuff, although there's a very good chance that they would have been informed at some point. I doubt anybody actually read it or cared, especially Christine or whatever her name was. But that was a legitimate question and answer that he put out there for the sake of education.
Get your anger, but there's a procedure to this. Basically, it was a pleasant way of saying, shut up, you know nothing. And that's what I love about this organization, is that they're really good at finding people in the front office and GMs that they just know how things work, and they're respectful and whatever. And it's just that there's so many ways that most other people would not have handled that question as well as Mark would have done. And it's just contrary to what she said. It's gonna be sad to see Mark Murphy go. Because we're going into a time of where we don't know who it's going to be and we don't know what the future of the Packers is going to look like. I mean, I'm very thankful for Mark Murphy and everything that he's done with Titletown and bringing in Brian Gutekunst and making this team what it has been. Because entitlement aside, being a Packers fan is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And Mark Murphy perfectly exemplifies that. So I just need to give a quick shout out to show respect to Mark Murphy and everything that he's done. And I'm just so thankful that we have a guy like him running our organization rather than some owner, and because it could be a heck of a lot worse than what we've got, and people don't realize that. Anyways, gonna head out again. So have a good vacation, and bye.
Yeah, very well said, and I definitely agree. I think he's done a fantastic job for the Green Bay Packers. He gets a lot of flack, and I'm not entirely sure why. In fact, it would be kind of an interesting poll to put out as just sort of grading. John Meerdink used to do that. I don't know why he stopped doing that, but I know it involved podcasts and things like that. But it also was, what is your grade on the coach or the GM or whatever? Somebody should revive that, if not John, or maybe he does, and I just haven't seen it. I don't know. But no, I think he's done a great job. I think he is a great representative of the Green Bay Packers. I like the way he does things and the way he handles things. I think some people don't like it because it maybe comes off unprofessional because he's very casual. He's very laid back. He's just always smiling and having a good time. And I think it's either people just don't like it, which I think is silly, or they misconstrue it as being just sort of this, confused, senile old man who shouldn't be handling the business side of things, which I think is silly if that is the case. Anyways, why don't we take our final break? We'll come back and we got a whole bunch of Uncle Rico. We'll be right back.
Have you ever experienced turbulence on a flight and wondered why?
And you can see all the terrain around you. You've got no issue with visibility or anything?
No, everything's PG.
Maybe you've sat on the tarmac for hours wondering why your plane isn't moving.
Well, we're outside here. They're saying the ramp is closed. They won't let us park because of Air Force One.
Listen in on the conversations between pilots and air traffic controllers on the Air Traffic Out of Control podcast.
510 Whiskey declaring an emergency. There's smoke in the cabin. I need to make a landing right now on 31 left.
We have the most interesting, wild, and funny ATC recordings you will ever hear. Check out Air Traffic Out of Control wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
Yo.
What's happening?
What's up, mate?
Dude, I'm on my way home from Road America. Is that near you? Do you live near Road America?
I have no idea.
Road America is pretty sweet.
Is that a motorcycle thing?
Motorcycle. Today it was. A friend of mine was racing his motorcycle at Road America.
Racing?
They haul ass. It's scary. He goes by and I'm worried for his life. I'm like, slow down, dude. You're going to die.
Oh.
And he wiped out once. That was yesterday, actually. I didn't see that. It was raining, and they race motorcycles like 50 miles an hour in the rain. What the hell? Anyways.
Yikes.
Listening to the pod and about the toll roads. You ever notice, like, Steve from last call said you don't get nothing for your money. Yeah. You ever notice how the toll roads are near sinkholes? Like Chicago, Seattle, wherever the hell a toll road is in New Jersey. I'm sure there's some big dump of a city near it. That's what they pay for. They pay for all those, the things that go on in cities. That's what they pay for. That's what I'm thinking anyways, all that stuff that goes on in Chicago, the stuff that, the working man has to pay for. Yeah, that's what they pay for. That's what I'm thinking anyways. I don't know. I'm not an economist or I don't look up stuff like that because what am I going to do about it? But the toll money pays for people to live in cities without having jobs. That's what it's for. Rico out. Oh, by the way, go Pack, go. Later.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, I have certainly skeptical of the benefits of things like tolls. I mean, look, it's my understanding, not that a upstanding place like Illinois would have anything to do with corruption or anything. Still remember when I was a kid, man, it was just everybody knew about how corrupt Illinois was. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was like corruption / specifically mob ties and things. Like it was out of control. I don't remember anything about it. It was like the Ryans. I remember that name for obvious reasons, but they were all corrupt. Anyways, George Ryan, that's who it was. George Ryan served as the 39th governor of Illinois from 99 to 2003. Before his tenure as governor, he was Secretary of State from 91 to 99. Lieutenant Governor of Illinois from 83 to 91. His governorship was marked by controversy, leading to his conviction on federal corruption charges in 2006, related to actions during his time as Secretary of State. There you go. Anyways, all I was saying is not that Illinois would be known for any kind of corrupt acts or whatever, but it is my understanding that the money is not to be used for things not specifically for transportation. So I think primarily it goes toward those toll roads. Excess income, of which there shouldn't be very much, goes towards other transportation type things or paying off debt toward the transportation stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
What up, Rico Suave?
So I just listened to the pod here and trying to catch up again. I see Joyce called in. I don't know if I remember hearing from Joyce again. Are you sure she's not 1265 Fan's sister? They sound similar. I think she might be. And about the Harrison Butker thing, I just don't. Why is the guy getting kicked in the teeth? Because he's basically saying that motherhood is important. Of course it's important. It's like the most important job in the whole world, isn't it? Your mom is kind of important. You should be looked down upon because you value that. Raising your children, not going off to work and let somebody else raise your children. I'm not discounting that. But why should motherhood be discounted? It's crazy. It makes zero sense. All these super professional women, they feel guilty about it, about letting somebody else raise their children. But I don't know. It's young college people who raise all this stink about it. College can be the devil, I think. Anyways, football related, over the cap. So I was looking at the over the cap thing.
So real quick, first of all, I'd forgotten all about that issue. I think a lot of people have. This is not blaming Uncle Rico. This is obviously an older call, but I still have not read or looked at the comments. It's one of those things where if it continued to blow up, if it continued to be a thing, I would have to do it so that I could formulate my own opinion. Kind of just brushed it off because I don't think it's that important. But the bottom line is, even if I read it and thought it was disgusting, it still wouldn't be anything more than my opinion of somebody else's opinion. I think a lot of people say a lot of stupid stuff. I talk about it a lot on the podcast, usually football-related stuff, but still. But it's just my opinion. Now, the reason, well, it's kind of a twofold issue with the Harrison Butker thing. First of all, delving into that would be delving headfirst into a political thing, which I don't want to do, especially in a election year. Beyond that, my perspective would be probably less political and more theological, because I am a Christian but not a Catholic, and I don't think anybody really wants to hear. I shouldn't say that. Some people would, but I don't want to steer it that direction. You know what I mean? I mean, the show goes where you take it, but there are certain things I'm more apt to dive headfirst into than other things. And again, I try my best. You know, it's a line between censoring yourself for the sake of the show and for the sake of the audience. And also, you know, on the other hand, if you really want to say it, allow yourself to say it. But this has just never struck me as something interesting that I really wanted to touch on. So it's whatever. I don't care. You know, the only interesting thought that just occurred to me at this exact time, so it's not very well thought out, so I'll try my best to articulate it. We can agree or disagree with just about anybody, depending how granular we want to be. You know, it's funny because I can go to a church in which, I mean, you know, I don't know if you know this, but theology can get very nuanced, at least in Christian circles. That is to say, you get down to a very specific kind of theology in which everybody pretty much agrees with you, and even within that, there's a lot of disagreement. It could range from the type of music that should be allowed in church to, you know, your eschatology or infant baptism or what. There's the point is, if you feel like you found the exact people that agree with absolutely everything, there's always going to be something that you don't agree on. And so I guess in a way it's a choice whether or not we're going to argue every single thing we disagree with or not. And I'm not saying it's good to not argue anything. I'm just saying it's entirely up to us to decide sort of the level of granularity we want to be picky. Right, in my younger days, when I was much more like everything has to be exactly this way, I was very argumentative. And then you realize all you do is argue, nothing changes, and you make everything, including yourself and everyone around you, miserable. And that's not, you know, I mean, right is right, I get that, but still, you gotta pick and choose your battles, I guess. And so, you know, we can agree or disagree with everybody, depending on how you choose to treat somebody, what you choose to focus on. You can fight with the whole world if you want to, or not, you know, whatever.
With the numbers on there, can you explain that a little bit, how that works exactly with we got the cap space, the active cap spending, and the dead money? I assume the Packers, they're way up there in the dead money. They're not on top of the list, but they're pretty high for this year in dead money. Is that Aaron Rodgers money, or and the Broncos are super high, so I got to assume that's what's his name, Wilson money, and that goes on into next year quite a bit for the Broncos. That's all because of the Wilson deal, I think. Anyways, so maybe if you had a minute, you could explain that a little bit. All right, Ryan, thanks. Go Pack, go. Rico out.
Yeah, so the dead cap this year is not Aaron Rodgers. We've already gotten through that hurricane, which, you know, again, it's this catastrophic disaster kind of thing, but at the same time, we got through it just fine, and after 1 year, it's behind us. So the Packers are really high in dead cap. It's almost $50.2 million, which is the seventh highest amount of dead cap space. Dead cap, essentially, we're talking about, I don't know if terminated is the right word, but let's just use it for the sake of, I can't think of a better one. Contracts that are no longer on the books, but have like residual debt. So David Bakhtiari, He is no longer a Green Bay Packer, but we paid money that has not yet been accounted for on the cap, and that's not allowed. So any paid money that has not yet been accounted for has to be accounted for right now. So in the case of David Bakhtiari, it's $19 million is his cap hit, which is almost 7.5% of the cap. Aaron Jones, 12.3. Darnell Savage is 5.4. Rasul Douglas is 5.1. Devondre Campbell, 3.6. Josh Nijman, 2.5. Keyshawn Nixon, 1.5. Everything else is significantly lower. It drops all the way down to Matt Orzik, 200,000, and then Lou Nichols, 72,000. So those are the big ones, and presumably they'll all be off the cap next year. I don't exactly know. Actually, it looks like Devondre Campbell will also have a cap hit in 2025. It just depends how you decide to release a guy or whatever, but $7.9 million in 2025 for Devondre Campbell, I believe. But anyways, I hope that answered the question.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
What's up?
Sorry, I sound like a bumbling idiot there. I'm not very good at
I didn't notice.
Sometimes, but the Harrison Butker thing, I think, he's just basically saying it's okay for if that's what a woman values. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel less than, you don't have to be looked down upon if you don't want to have a professional career. If you want to stay at home and take care of your children, take care of your home, that's a job. It's a huge job. It's a big job. Sometimes it's, as all women know, if there's any women listening or even, men, we all know that the children are a lot of work, and it's easier to roll out in the morning, go to work, and come home and skip the chaos. Like, I'm sure Ryan, you got kids, and you go down to your area and you do your job while there's some wildness going on around the house. All that stuff is a lot of work. So I think Harrison Butker is telling women, don't feel guilty. Don't get bullied into thinking you have to have a professional job, a professional career with a salary and all the craziness that goes along with that. It's okay if your job is to be I don't want to say housewife. I guess, it's weird. Like, can you say things like that these days without people looking, housewife? Oh my God. But, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. I mean, don't let people bully you. All right? That's what I'm saying. That's what Harrison Butker is saying, I believe, anyway. So, all right. Rico out.
Yeah, and my understanding is, and I don't know exactly how it was worded or what was said. My understanding of what was said was something to the effect of maybe almost saying that it's better to stay home, which is a perfectly fair opinion to have if you just value that really highly. It's just an odd thing to say to female graduates because generally you don't go to college to be a stay-at-home mom. But again, I don't know if those comments were taken out of context or what. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
What's up, man?
I'm getting all wild today. Like, calling him, like, repetitively. Like, it happens. But anyway, I forgot to leave out one part. That, like, it's okay, too, for a man to stay home with their children.
I was gonna be done after your last call, Uncle Rico, but I was like, I don't want to end on this, so I'm gonna do one more. You're gonna make me get to Steve in Alaska after this, aren't you?
And be, that like I said before, we all know it. I don't know why people can't just say it's important. Somebody needs to properly bring up the children, take care of the home, all that stuff. That's a huge freaking job. And so if the woman or man, or if there's two men or two women or whatever, whoever is in the relationship that takes on the task of that is fine. If it's a husband and wife, and the wife has got a job she enjoys and likes and thinks is important, and the man, the husband, maybe decides that it's okay or that somebody needs to take care of children if he wants to pull the plug in his job and stay home, that's great. I just don't know why we're pigeonholed into this man must work, woman must work, someone must watch children, we will pay somebody to raise their children. It's freaking insane. Yes, and people judge other people, and it's just dumb. I think that's what the whole thing is about, and these people are judging Harrison Butker. So, yeah, whatever. The mainstream American society is kind of skewed, I would say. It's very skewed. Anyways, all right. I think I'm done now. Rico out. Go Paco.
Well, you're going to get me rolling now. Aside from the Butker comments, just leaving that aside, I'll say this. If you think your own self-gratification is more important than your kids, I don't have any sympathy for you and how much your feelings might be hurt about some comments. I just don't. I know there's a lot of talk about, well, you can't do it without two incomes, which is not true because we do it without two incomes, have for many years. I don't know. I'll say this. If you have kids, that is the priority. And financially taking care of them is very important, but that's not the only thing. I'll leave it at that, I guess. If your goal, I'm not leaving it at that. If your goal in everything you do is for your kids, and you honestly mean that, not because your selfishness and your desires to climb a corporate ladder or make a bunch of money or whatever it is, if your honest goal is to give your kids the best possible life and the best possible upbringing then you're doing it right, or at least attempting to do it right, even if it may be misguided. But the interesting thing is, I don't hear a lot of people arguing about the importance to their kids. All I hear about is my rights. What about me and what I want to do? It's the reason people put off having kids anyways. I want to focus on my career. It's all about me. I was talking to, I've said it 1,000 times. I mean, I think our entire school system is wrong and could be significantly better. And I would love to have things like AI get involved where you could have each kid with a personal tutor that can take them through all these different things. But it's never going to happen. You know why it's never going to happen? Because school isn't about school. School's a daycare. I can't be home with my kids while they do robot school because then I can't have my career. So I need to send them off to this school, we'll call it, which really is just a daycare, so I can go focus on my career. And that's how schools can get away with not doing a good job of educating, because what are the parents going to do? Nothing. They can't afford private school. They're not going to quit one of their jobs and suddenly not be able to afford the quality of life that they've become accustomed to. I don't know. Whatever. I'm off on nothing. But bottom line is, if you have kids, that's the priority. It's not you. It's not you. It's not your money. It's not your career. It's what's best for your kids. All right. I should go to Steve in Alaska, but I'm not going to. I got to hurry up because we're doing Jeopardy tonight. We're going to see how that goes. Hopefully that's not a big flop, but it should be fun. If you didn't see it, hear about it, whatever, well, I can't tell you what it is or how it went because I didn't do it yet. But I'm planning on doing it more often. We'll see how it goes. I don't have a whole lot of ideas, but, we'll do it. We'll see how it goes, and we'll reconvene. We can see, if we end up doing prizes or keeping score differently or whatever. But bottom line, make sure you subscribe to Packernet Podcast on YouTube or get in the Facebook group or whatever the case may be. But I'm out of here. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.